Good morning, eighth students. How are you today? Today we are going to take the present perfect continuous اللي هو المضارع التام المستمر. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to form a present perfect continuous and when to use a present perfect continuous. Let's start with when to use the present perfect continuous. For actions that started in the past and are still in progress now, or have happened repeatedly until now. For example, I have been traveling for a few years, so I start traveling a few years ago and I'm still traveling. يعني إشي صار في الماضي عندي ولحد الآن هو مستمر. I have been traveling for a few years يعني I'm still traveling and I start traveling a few years ago and I'm still traveling. Number two, for actions that happened repeatedly in the past and have finished recently but that have results that affect the present. إشي صار عندي في الماضي ولكن هو حدث متكرر وخلص، بس خلص مش بوقت من زمان، يعني finished recently خلص هلأ but that have result that affect the present نتيجته هلأ عم تطلع لي. For example, my eyes hurt because I have been working on the computer for hours. هي إن عندي إشي repeatedly in the past اللي هو working on the computer for hours. والeffect the present we can see the result now اللي هو my eyes hurt. Number three, to emphasize how long actions have been in progress for. لما أنا بدي أركز على how long قديش مدة الإشي اللي صار عندي. For example, her brother has been researching global warming for a decade. Here we have how long and we emphasized the time. عندي decade يعني لمدة 10 سنين. decade اللي هو 10 سنوات، معناته أخوها عم بيعمل أبحاث عن الاحتباس الحراري لمدة 10 سنين. So here we emphasize how long actions have been in progress for. Now let's move to the structure of the present perfect continuous. But before we get started, it's good to know how to conjugate the verb to have. Of course, we have singular forms and plural forms. For singular forms, I have, you have, he has, she has, and it has. And for the plural forms, we have and they have. Now let's get started how to form a present perfect continuous. Use the auxiliary verb to have اللي هو have or has plus the past participle of the verb to be which is been plus the verb ing. Here we have the subjects I, we, you, they plus have plus been. Been, this is the past participle of the verb to be, which is been. So the past participle of the verb to be is been plus the verb with ing. So we add been plus verb with ing. And in he, she, it plus has plus been plus verb ing. In negative, we do the same, but we add not to the auxiliary verbs, becoming haven't or hasn't. Haven't or hasn't plus been plus verb ing. And in questions, we start with the auxiliary verbs have or has. It depends on the subject. Have, I, you, they, we plus been plus verb plus ing, and we add question mark at the end. And we start with has if we have he, she, it plus been plus verb, and we add ing to the verb, and at the end we have to add question mark. هلا في عندي الشورت answers yes or no. Yes in affirmative, so yes, it depends on the subject. Yes, she or they. Has or have, no. هلا in negative we add not also. No, they hasn't or haven't. For example, no, she hasn't. No, they haven't. Now let's move to the examples. Examples in affirmative للجملة المثبتة. I have been writing articles all day. I, this is the subject. Have, this is the auxiliary verb. Been, this is the past participle. Past participle للفعل to be. Verb with ing. Articles all day. All day, this is time expression. هلا in negative, she hasn't. Can you see the not here? So we add not to the auxiliary verb. So she hasn't been doing her job lately. Also lately, this is time expression. And in question, have they been watching too much TV lately? Question mark at the end, and we start with have because we have the subject they. So have they been watching too much TV lately? Also lately, this is time expression, and the short answer, it will be yes they have or no they haven't. So we have some common time expressions that are often used with the present perfect continuous are all day, night, or all night, all week, for years, ages, recently lately. كمان recently lately هتلاقوهم هم أكتر تنتين مستخدمين in present perfect continuous. And we can use how long with the present perfect continuous in questions. For example, how long has he been working in this lab? So بقدر أحط أنا how long مع ال present perfect continuous in question. And here we need to pay special attention to verbs that ending in an e. For example, live, make. Here we drop the e and add ing. So please note these verbs no longer have an e when you need to add ing, so we drop the e. Living and making. Here we have the present simple and the present perfect continuous. So the present perfect is used in finished actions, permanent actions, emphasize on the result of the action, and indicate how much or how many have been completed. But in present perfect continuous, we use the present perfect continuous in unfinished actions, temporary action, emphasize on the duration of the action, and indicate how long something has been happening. If you can see here in this example, the kids have been playing since morning. Also, I have been teaching this class for 1 hour. He has been repairing the car for 2 hours and I have been studying English for 2 months. So again عندي أنا لما بستخدم ال present perfect continuous لما بدي أركز على how long, to emphasize how long actions have been in progress. قديش كان عندي المدة الوقت تبع الأكشنز تبع الحدث أو إشي صار عندي في الماضي متكرر نتائجه هلأ صارت لي إشي صار متكرر لفترة طويلة أو إشي صار عندي في الماضي ولحد الآن هو مستمر. As in the example, I have been traveling for a few years, which means I start traveling a few years ago and I'm still traveling. So that's it for today. Thank you very much.